When you think about it, usually when someone wants to pollute the drinking water for over 15 million people, the plot you're talking about involves a terrorist, maybe in a film. In our #1 story, a vote that would open the Delaware River to fracking was postponed today due to large part to the over 800 people who stood outside the Trenton War Memorial and said, "No fracking way." In 1961, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware came together with the federal government to form the Delaware River Basin Commission, or the DRBC. The DRBC consists of the governors of each of the 4 states, as well as a representative from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Ordinarily, the commission focuses on monitoring water quality. It operates with little interest from the ordinary public, but the Marcellus Shale and its vast natural gas supply changed that. About a third of the Delaware River Basin in New York and Pennsylvania lies on top of the Marcellus Shale. By utilizing horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing, the polite name for fracking, natural gas companies estimated they could recover 50 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, which would be enough to supply natural gas to the United States for 2 full years. Run a lot of hospitals to treat all the sick people who got sick that way from fracking as well. In May 2009, DRBC Executive Director Carol Collier ordered that all drilling in the basin required the commissioner's approval, or the commission's approval. A hearing scheduled for today planned to vote on whether or not to allow 20,000 gas wells in the Delaware River Basin. But last week, the commission decided to delay the vote, apparently due to a lack of agreement on the issue. Governor Markell of Delaware, Governor Cuomo of New York have both publicly stated their intent to vote against the plan. Governor Corbett of Pennsylvania had shown support. Governor Christie and the Obama administration had not made any indication of which way they would vote. While this was seen as a victory for those who opposed the drilling, it did not stop more than 800 people from protesting outside where the hearing was supposed to have taken place. In the light of all this, joining me now, actress and activist Debra Winger, and the fellow activist and the director of the great film Gasland, Josh Fox. Thanks you both for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Debra, is this a victory or is it just a delay?
Well, I'm sort of Eeyore on the victory thing. I'm like, it's a nice little victory, but, I mean, we're in it for the long run. We've been 3 years ago when we started to catch wind of this, no pun intended, as Josh was out across the country sending footage back that was terrifying all of us. We thought this can't come east, this can't come to New York, and in fact it has. And it's run over Pennsylvania. And, you know, we talk about the watershed because that's what we've been, the argument has been framed. And the fact is, it's the food shed for New York.
Right.
And what goes into the water goes into the earth. And we have great new farmers that are trying to move back into a very depressed farm area. We want that to happen. We want our specialty cheeses. We want our wine. We want... I speak to New Yorkers now. I speak to New Yorkers because these things are being grown in a place where the water will be tainted. It's no doubt in our mind that if things go the way they've gone in these other states, we'll be in trouble.
So Josh, why did it go the way it did, and what do you think is going to happen next?
Well, I think what happened was an enormous outpouring of citizen pressure, not just today. I mean, today was actually a huge victory, in my estimation, a very, very unlikely victory.
He's winning.
It came from, well, it came from an enormous outpouring of people calling, emailing, and the threat of taking over that meeting, which was stated and very, very clear that this was a moment where we had about 1,000 people there today, and we anticipated 10 times more than that to go and swarm a 2,000-seat hall. When the Delaware River Basin Commission put out their regulations, they got 69,800 public comments overwhelmingly against the drilling. So if you translate that, all of New York State got 14,000 public comments. New York State took 2 years to absorb them. The Delaware River Basin Commission took 7 months. And it doesn't seem like anybody actually read them. Because that's where we're going around making the rounds with the governors, talking to them and petitioning. It didn't seem like this crisis had really sunk in.
Right.
And now it's 2-2. And it's squarely in the hands of the Obama administration. They have the swing vote. They have the deciding vote. So we don't know what's actually going to happen. It's very rare that the DRBC actually cancels a vote. So it's a big victory, but we don't know for how long.
They also have, what, they only have to declare 24 hours before.
10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
So they could decide they're going to vote again in 10 days, and it'd be time to call all those people back into the street.
But I think people are poised, and I think that we understand that we're in it for the long run. But the level of education for all the tri-state area has to be raised.
To that end, is it your conviction based on what you did for Gasland and in terms of the preparation of it and as you put the movie together and the subsequent where it resonated and where it did not, that the reason people have gotten away with fracking is because they've been able to operate in this kind of vacuum of publicity, and that this is literally one of these situations that really needs sunshine and pressure?
Absolutely. Well, we're in a paradigm shift about energy. We've been in it for quite a while. We're in a phase called extreme fossil fuel development.
Right.
Fracking fits in with the Keystone XL, the tar sands, mountaintop removal, deep water drilling. We haven't noticed the fact that we're running out of easily obtainable oil. We should have noticed that. We should have started moving towards renewable energy. But what instead the fossil fuel companies have done is expose us to ever more contaminating and risky and dangerous and polluting forms of energy development, fracking, tar sands. And we see what happened in the Gulf, and you see the results of fracking all across the nation. The other thing that's happened is that area where it's okay for people to be expendable, you know, like West Virginia was for 100 years, has now expanded across the country, and we're in 34 states in the largest domestic natural gas drilling campaign.
I mean, Western
in
Pennsylvania is, you know,
so it
the
wasn't
best example of that.
Well, absolutely, it wasn't right, obviously, for people to be expendable anywhere. But now what you're seeing is this encroach more and more on places where there's a lot of media attention.
And I would say to that as well, because Josh, you know, there's nobody better to talk about policy and numbers and facts, but when you start talking to people who have been affected by this, and you can't even manage the amount of stories that come in to be vetted, but you know, I think that's, for me, I've been telling stories about people my whole life, but there's none more compelling than the real stories that are coming in now, and some of them are abject. Some of them cannot be fixed already. And I think that that's what I would like to get out there are some more of these tales. I know the New York Times Magazine did an article that gave us one of those stories. They're heartbreaking, and it's happening here. It sounds like another country.
In the very limited time left, I guess I'll just poll you, since you're Eeyore and Winnie in this situation. Between this and the XL pipeline delay, is this has been a good year for America and the...
No, I don't think it's been a good year, Keith.
This has been an amazing week to get 2 wins, and we're talking about a coalition of people from the climate justice movement, the fracking movement, the local groups, the big greens, all coming together. So I think we're just getting started. This is like the orchestra tuning itself up right now.
Okay, well, that's your metaphor, and mine is a funnel. We're all going to jump in at different edges of the funnel.
Because delay means more attention. And more knowledge, necessarily. So I get the final vote.
Not Tom DeLay.
Josh Fox, Deborah Winger, and not Tom DeLay. Thank you. That's Countdown. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck.